Hey, 20-ish ones. Welcome back. In this lesson, what we're going to do is we're going to add and subtract rational expressions. Now, adding and subtracting rational expressions is definitely going to be more difficult than multiplying and dividing rational expressions. So probably, I need you to plan to spend some more time doing this lesson. Okay, definitely longer than you did in the last lesson about multiplying and dividing. Okay, let's go back and do some elementary stuff without a calculator. Okay, please, friends, I do need you to add and subtract fractions without a calculator. If you think calculus is in your future, guys and gals, you need to be able to do fractions without a calculator. Okay, it's essential. Listen to this old man. Now, what makes adding and subtracting more complicated? Well, it's not that much more complicated, but remember, to add and subtract, we need a common denominator. So on the first one here, I'm going to say, okay, my common denominator between 4 and 2 is 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by 1 in a sneaky way. What is he talking about? I'm going to multiply by 1. Well, that's the only number I can multiply by that doesn't change the value of this thing. So what I'm going to multiply by is I know my common denominator is 4, so I'm going to multiply top and bottom, numerator and denominator by 2. 2 over 2 is 1. That's why I'm saying I'm multiplying by 1 in a sneaky way. And so that's 22 over 4. And my apologies, I'm just going to go sideways here. That's 25 over 4. So I do want you to think that when you're getting a common denominator, you're really multiplying by 1 in a sneaky, sneaky way. Okay, that's not too bad. You're like, yeah, okay, big deal. But then I look at the second one and I go, oh, what's the lowest common denominator of 9 and 20? Okay, I don't know. But for sure, what a common denominator is if I multiplied the first term by 20 over 20 and the second term by 9 over 9, the other term's denominators, I know that's going to get me a common denominator, isn't it? So what do I get? I get 99 over 180. Okay, and now I can simplify that. And without a calculator, I believe that's 41 over 180. Okay, so the important part here, the thing that is going to make this more difficult for us today is getting that common denominator. Okay, let's see. What do we do when we got these crazy polynomials flying around? Okay, so what I'm going to say to myself is step one, same step one as it's been all unit, can I factor? So I look at this one, I say, nope, thank goodness, nothing to factor. Step two stays the same. What are my NPVs? Well, NPVs, first one, x can't be 0. Second one, x can't be -1. Okay, there's my NPVs. Boom, box them. Okay, now step three, what changes is we're going to get this common denominator. I'm just going to write CD because I'm lazy. Common denominator. Okay, what is my common denominator here? Okay, a lot of people would want to say that my common denominator is x plus 1, but it's not. Okay, what I want you to think about when you're looking at these questions, and if it makes it easier for you to see, I want you to put parentheses around these two things and say, I want you to think of those as two separate terms. What's my common denominator? Well, let's go back to whenever we did this grade 6, what did we do right here? We multiplied each term by the denominator of the other term. So let's come back to here. My common denominator then would be x multiplied by x plus 1. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to write it beneath again. You need equal signs because you're showing equality. I'm going to multiply the first term by x plus 1 over x plus 1, and I'm going to multiply the second term by x over x. Again, I'm really multiplying by 1 in a super sneaky way. Okay, what does that give me? Well, I'm just going to rewrite this like this then. And I'm showing every single step. As you get good at these, you'll maybe start to skip steps. In fact, you'll probably skip the first line I drew there. That's okay. But I'd want to see the second line. And now I've got a common denominator. So when I have a common denominator, I write everything with that common denominator, just like that. Okay. So there it is. There's step 3 done. Common denominator, write it with a common denominator. Step 4. What we're going to do now is we're going to only simplify the numerator. Okay, let's simplify that numerator. Okay, no big deal. So I'm going to distribute the 3 like that. So I'm going to get 3x plus 3, nothing to do in the second term. I'm leaving the denominator alone. The reason why is because we're going to spend a lot of time graphing rational functions in the next unit. And you'll see why I want to leave things factored. Remember, things that are factored are my friend. And I simplify 3x minus 2x is x plus 3. There it is. Okay, I'm going to write my NPVs beside it, 0 and -1. Okay, and speaking of graphing in the next unit, those NPVs are going to have some real importance there. Okay, 0 and -1. And I boxed it maybe a little early. What my final step should be is, okay, can I do anything else? Can I simplify again? Can I divide again? Sometimes what you'll be able to do is in the final step, you might be able to do some more division between the numerator and the denominator. In this case, I can't. Okay, there it is. Let's try another one. All right, number 2. What do we got here? We've got 4 over p squared minus 1 plus 3 over p plus 1. Okay, so step 1, let's factor everything, right? So again, that factoring, oh, it never goes away, right? Never goes away. So there it is. So step 1 factor, done. NPVs, well, p can't be positive -1. Okay, what's my common denominator? I'm going to write this off to the side here. I'm just going to write CD because I'm lazy. Well, I need one of everything I see. So I definitely need a p minus 1, and both terms already have a p plus 1. So all I need to do on this one is multiply the second term, numerator and denominator, by p minus 1. Bingo. Okay, done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this with a common denominator, which is p minus 1, p plus 1. This is 4 plus 3 times p minus 1. Now what we're going to do, I think I called it step 3 above. All we do is simplify the numerator. Do not multiply, distribute out your denominator. What are we going to get here? Well, this will be 4 plus 3p minus 3. And here we go. We got one more step. What are we going to have? 3p plus 1 over p minus 1, p plus 1. Write our NPVs beside it like that. And I say to myself, I should check, can I do any division here between numerator and denominator? Sir, no, sir. Okay, so is it really that much more awful than multiplying and dividing? Not really, friends, but it is this step here of getting the common denominator that does take a little bit to get used to. Okay, so again, just remember your steps. Factor, non-permissible value, find that common denominator, simplify, and then see if you can divide one more time. Okay, there she is, my friends. I will see you next time.